Every now and then somebody will ask me, tell me about Jubilee. Why did you name your church Jubilee? Or, what is Jubilee? Are you a denomination, inter or non-denominational church? Are you fundamentalist or evangelical or charismatic? And all those questions that people ask. Every now and then I have to remind myself who Jubilee is by God's grace. Recently we heard a message, or I heard about a message preached up at Bethel Church in Redding, where they were talking about prophetic identity and purpose and the DNA of a church. Why do certain people go to certain churches? Why are they attracted? Well, in asking other people this very question, I've got answers like, we feel welcome, we feel accepted, we feel loved. The staff is extremely friendly. People said, Pastor Dick, it seems like your messages hit me right where I'm living and where and what I'm going through. The other day I was having just a little bit of a down day. It happens. And I got an email from an African-American sister who's in the choir. And it was the most amazing story of how she was raised in extremely segregated, I believe Mississippi, part of the South anyway. And when she came out here, she went to a traditional black church, which is fine. But people kept telling her about Jubilee. So she showed up at Jubilee, and she said she was shocked because she thought it was like an all-white church full of Republicans. And she showed up at Jubilee, and the first 2 or 3 people she met were African Americans, and she goes, wow. And then she saw Asians and saw Hispanics, saw people from India, people from China, people from all over the world, and it blew her mind because she had never been in such a cross-pollinated, eclectic group of people. Well, the preacher that day was Tim Story, and she thought, well, this is cool. The pastor of this big church is an African American, so she instantly could relate. She came back the next week, and she goes, there's this Caucasian, gray-haired guy up there, and I asked, who's this guy? Is he our guest speaker today? And she goes, no, he's our pastor. And immediately, she said, she started putting up her defenses. Well, what she told me was the message resonated, it hit home, and she called her parents and friends and said, I found my church, and believe it or not, the preacher is white, to their shock. Well, she's now a vital member of our church and a leader in our church. And this is a wonderful story. And that day where I was just in a bit of a funk, just having a bit of a low time, a lot of pressure from inside and out. And after reading that email, it reminded me of why I'm here and hopefully why you're here. That's Jubilee. We try to keep it real because real people need God.